Back in 2009, there was one name that everybody feared on the Roblox platform. Both kids and adults alike wet their pants as soon as they even saw someone with the letter D in their names. And that name was Denver 5678. Denver 5678 was like the boogeyman in Roblox players' closets. It was the Darth Vader of Roblox experiences. He made Lisa Gaming look like a first grader. Well, actually, she probably is, so maybe preschooler. If you haven't guessed by now, Denver 5678 is my old Roblox username, and I was the most toxic person in Roblox. You did not want to encounter this man in-game. If you had to choose between encountering this guy or encountering a kidnapper in the back alley at 3 AM with a gun pointed to your head, you would choose the kidnapper. This man right here was terrifying. And the reason was Roblox gear. For those of you who don't know what gear is, all the way back in 2009, Roblox implemented an initiative where you could buy items for Robux on the website and then take them into almost any game on the platform, as long as the game allowed it. And back then, almost every game allowed it. There were different gear types. There was like social gear, which is like the pizza, where it wouldn't really do anything, it'd just make a funny sound effect. But there was also combat gear. There was teleportation gear. I think that was under navigation. There was a whole bunch of gear that did so many different effects. Like there's the body swap potion. There was the flying magic carpets that you see in like the majority of obbies nowadays. There was this mega annoying megaphone, which yes, is one of the items I had as the most toxic Roblox player back in the day, where if you clicked on someone, it would send the megaphone over to them and then blast their ears with the most annoying music you have ever heard, or the most annoying sound effects, and it was made by Roblox. But it doesn't work nowadays. I can't believe it. This is outrageous. Why would Roblox get rid of that? But I'm sure that you'd probably be able to see the problem with this. It made literally every game in Roblox pay to win. Because gear had such a different, like, diverse variety of effects, you could find one gear that had a way more powerful effect than any of the others and bring that into your combat game, and boom, no one would be able to kill you. And that is exactly what I did. I got my parents' credit card with their permission and used it to buy some of the most OP gear in Roblox. One of them cost about 30,000 Robux, and that is my prized possession. But then I would take that gear and go into Roblox games and ruin the day of any poor child that would dare come up against me, and even the ones that were just minding their own business and trying to do things alone. And my two main stomping grounds were Plane Wars 2, a game where you had to destroy the other person's base by getting in a plane and flying over to the other side, and Build a Boat and Sail It to the End Impossible, which is different to the current Build a Boat you know nowadays, but in that game, you had to build a boat and sail it to the end. To set the stage, this is a compilation of my most used items when I was doing a little trolling. I had an automatic sentry turret that would never miss its target, a cloning tool that spawned an AI me that would walk around and I can switch bodies with it whenever I want. I had trip mines, which wouldn't go away for the entire time I was there, so you could literally just spam an entire building with them, and eventually someone's gonna trip on one and it's just gonna go boom like a nuke. I had a trident that was literally a one-shot and it had an ability with a huge explosion which would send everything flying and force it out of its sitting position, so it would force people out of vehicles. Potions that let me fly and shoot things from the sky. I had a giant force field which would reflect any projectiles coming at me back at the person. There was a Medusa head where if anyone was looking at me within like a 5-meter radius, they would get frozen in stone and I could just walk up to them, teabag them, and then punch them in the face until they die. And of course, for good measure, a gun where it spawns one bear, then it spawns another bear, and then they walk towards each other, meeting in the middle, and when they meet in the middle, it explodes and the American flag comes up and it's a one-shot. But that's not counting my two most disgusting and toxic items. These two were the items I used the most out of any other item. The first and less impressive one was this, the gravity hammer, which also for some reason removes my hat and accessories now. I don't think that worked because those pieces were actually anchored in, but if a player was building a boat, per se, just like this, I would be able to slam it and then send it flying. I would completely wreck the boat. Another example here, I would run after some poor child like a monster coming after them, like the guy from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, the running cop meme, and then boom, I blow up their entire boat that they probably spent 2 hours making. That was just a mini boat, but imagine a huge, bigger boat for it. Kids would legitimately break down into tears, and they were probably older than me as well. And my second item was the most OP item in all of Roblox. I still to this day think this gear should never have been made. It is so ridiculously good. It was this Knights of the Splintered Skies Wind Summoner. I think I ended up buying this for 30,000 Robux back in the day, but it was absolutely worth it. I would take this any day over Headless. Just look at it would do. A kid, they're just happily building their boat. Wow, they look really proud of it. And by the way, this is how you built things back in the day with these tools. Honestly, I kind of prefer it, but that could just be Boomer me talking. But then I'd rock up and I'd shoot this directly at them. Anyone who steps in the blue cylindricals, the blue cylinders would die, and any item that these passed through that wasn't anchored down would get sucked up and disappear. This could literally destroy a Titanic boat. People could spend not just the 2 hours for the little sky hammer, because that has a small radius. They could spend 50 hours making a huge triple decker boat, and I just come in, one tap, boom, and then the cylinders go pew, and the entire boat disappears. All of their work is gone, and I am there laughing while I'm probably flying in the sky with a potion or something, a flying potion, and being like, hey, take the L, kid. That'll teach you to mess with me. And of course I did this too in Plane Wars 2 as well, because the bases weren't anchored down. So with literally one tap from my sky horn, I would destroy the entire base. They'd have nothing left, and they just lose the game. No one could beat me. It's ridiculous, because of all the items I had, the sentry turret alone was extremely OP, and that was just using a sentry turret, and I could leave that there and use other items. But it gets even dumber as well. It just gets worse and worse, which is one of the reasons that Roblox removed this. I mean, they would have removed it for that reason alone, but this seals the deal. Because I mentioned earlier that Roblox games could disable the types of gear, like the combat gear. If you were like just a roleplay game, you wouldn't have combat gear. You don't want people dying, so you just keep the social gear. Well, some of the social gear had side effects to the little socialness that was going on that did a bit of damage, and the main one I remember was the flying bat potion. It was a potion where if you drank it, you just get wings on your back and you'd be able to fly. That sounds totally fine, right? That can't hurt anyone. Well, for some dumb reason, the bat wings would do a lot of damage if they just so much as touched the player. So I could go into games which had disabled combat gear, no one could fight back at all, and just destroy them and kill them. It was so stupid. My favorite game to do that on was a build to survive game, which had no combat gear, so I would be the only one surviving. And if people tried to raid my base with the delete tool, guess what? I'm raiding their fun, because they're never gonna be able to have fun again when they keep dying. Just when you think it couldn't get worse. Just when you thought, okay, that's enough, but please, I've had enough, Devoun, stop. My heart can only take so much. It got a bit worse. Back in that time, instead of game passes to get into special access areas, we had VIP shirts, and the way to do it is you'd walk up to a door, and then the door would check whether you're wearing the specific shirt that you bought for a bunch of Robux, like the VIP shirt, and then the door would go transparent and let you in. If anyone else touched the door, they'd die, or they just wouldn't be able to go through. But I had this little gear right here that you see in my hand. This is the Ninja Blink potion. This one was pretty much allowed on any game that had any gear enabled. It was deemed perfectly safe, but the way it worked, if it actually works here, because Roblox disabled that a lot, there we go, it actually teleported you probably about, I don't know how many studs that is, but it teleported you about 1 Roblox meter ahead. Let's have a look again. Whoop. Yeah, it teleported you about that far. And so what you could do with that, you could use that to get into any VIP room or any paid access door in any game, and then also get out. So you don't have to pay at all for the VIP shirt, which sometimes costs like 1,000, 2,000 Robux, and that is a lot of Robux. It was nuts. Now, if gear came out today, there would be an uproar. Literally, like, every YouTuber would hate on it. Everyone would hate on it. But back in the day, maybe it's just because I was 10 and I didn't have social media or anything, so I couldn't see the dev forums where they all complained about it. But like, there was nothing wrong with it back in the day. day, I didn't hear anyone complaining about it. Again, I was like 9 or 10 at the time, so that probably makes sense. That's probably why. But I can guarantee you nowadays, if anyone did that, the Roblox would just like blow up. That would cause so much drama, because that is the definition of pay to win. It's not just pay to win, it's also completely broken across multiple games. It let you kill people in games that you shouldn't be able to kill people. I bet you I'd be able to oof people in Adopt Me in a Brookhaven. Imagine that. But my God, I would be lying if I said I didn't have the best time of my life back in the day. The memories of just destroying poor children in all those games when they couldn't even fight back, you know, I hold that dear to me. You know, I actually kind of miss that sometimes. Those were the happiest days I ever spent on Roblox, because, you know, I really felt powerful. I felt strong. I was a little boy in a big boy's world with big boy paid items that, you know, I could use to make myself just a little bit bigger. However, if I did have a choice whether to bring gear back or not, I'd probably say no, because then you'd have people like Lisa Gaming getting on top of it. Although honestly, I was probably worse than Lisa Gaming, so you probably have people like me getting on top of it. Anyway, what do you think about all this? Were you around during the old gear era? Some of you probably weren't even born, so let me know down below, and I'll catch you in the next video. Bye!